Seriously, do we have to go over this again? It's going to be every offseason until it happens. They're going to try to ban the tush push. If you can't beat it, just change the rules. It's kind of what the NFL and NFL teams are trying to do to hamper the Eagles. We're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about Saquon Barkley's usage this past year and what it could mean for next year. And we got a great guest at 8:30 joining us, so stay tuned. Trending in the AM. We're live in 30 seconds.
Pop, 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 julep. Pop, 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 julep. Pop, 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 julep. Pop, 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 pop.
And a very good morning, everybody, and welcome to Trending in the AM right here on the STT Sports Network. Please, when you're watching this, whether it's live or on replay, hit that like button and subscribe button, and please share it out. It's free to do. It's free to support local content creators. My job right now is the race to 500 subscribers. We're starting the show at 442. So please like, subscribe, share. It's greatly appreciated as we try to build this channel from the ground up here this year. So, guys, please do that for me. I greatly appreciate it. I'm Phil Stiefel, your host. Yes, I am the great Phil, the bearded Phil, whatever you want to call me. I'm a guy that needs a haircut really bad. That's what I need. And we got a jam-packed show today. We're talking tush push. We're talking Saquon Barkley. And one of my favorite guests is returning, Dale Carlson. Decades of coaching experience. We're going to talk to him about the Eagles and how Nick Sirianni needs to follow up the coaching job that he did in 2024 in 2025. So stay tuned. He'll be joining us around 8:30 this morning. Always great to talk to Coach Dale. But we got to start. I was going to start the show talking Saquon Barkley. But, of course, yesterday afternoon, the conversation came up of the report of a anonymous team that has decided to submit a bid to have the tush push banned in the NFL. And let me tell you something. I think it's comical. The simple fact that you cannot stop a play. The fact that you can't run a play either because teams are trying to run it. Since you can't stop it, you can't beat it. Instead of joining it, let's just ban it. Now, it's turned out it's the Green Bay Packers are the one that submitted the bid to cancel or ban the tush push. And, yeah, we beat the Packers twice this year with the tush push. Damn straight we did. It's pretty comical. I mean, and this goes back to a lot of things. I mean, this is the same theory I had when they banned the shift in baseball. Well, I don't know how to hit the ball opposite field, so let's just ban them from playing defense on my pull side. Learn, adapt, change, figure it out. Instead, no, we're not going to do any of that. We're just going to ban a play. If the tush push was so dangerous, if the tush push was such a bad play, why are all the other teams trying to use it? The Packers have failed miserably. The Bengals have failed miserably. The Bills have been dreadful trying to do it. The Ravens have actually had some success. They don't use Lamar Jackson. They use Mark Andrews in the situation. Everybody tries to do it. Instead of trying to figure out how to stop it or to effectively run the play themselves, we'll just ban it. And it's so annoying. And it might not get banned this offseason, but I firmly believe that the tush push will be banned at some point because the NFL can't figure out what to do with it. The league is a bunch of babies. Absolutely, Jason. You are not wrong about that. They are just jealous the Eagles are so good. They're just jealous that we've mastered a play that no one else can master. They're jealous that we have an amazing amazing quarterback that squats 600 pounds and offensive linemen that are risking their limbs to block for that play. Nobody else gets the leverage that the Eagles do? What about Goodfellas? How about other teams just try and use it themselves? Well, see, that's the thing. Other teams are trying to use it. And they have. This past year, you saw about a half a dozen teams that I saw, and I don't see everything, try to run the tush push. And they all failed. The only team other than the Eagles that was successfully using it was the Ravens. And they don't use their quarterback. They use Mark Andrews. But a lot of teams, I remember seeing Buffalo try multiple times. The great Josh Allen, the unflappable Josh Allen, the greatest quarterback in the world, Josh Allen, can't run the tush push. Any plays that assist the runner need to be banned. Yeah, of course you would say that. Whatever. So it's official that the Packers put the request in. Yes, I believe so. I forget which reporter reported it, but it was a very who was it? Rosilio. No. Female reporter, ESPN. I forget. So yeah, the NFL hasn't confirmed it, but a well-regarded reporter did confirm that it was the Green Bay Packers that put the bid in. As long as no pushing or aiding in rule. It ain't in the rule. You're allowed to do it. Why should they not be allowed to push? I mean, when a running back tries to run and you got 6 offensive linemen and 7 defensive linemen all pushing in each direction, that's legal. So why is the tush push illegal? If I'm stronger than you, should I be hampered because of that? The tush push is only 92. Only 92 what? Sorry. The league would actually have to come up with the right language. They can't. Yeah, exactly. They haven't come up with the right language yet. But I do firmly believe at some point, Nooms, that they will. Whether it's this offseason, next offseason, 3 offseason, they will at some point ban it. Unless they don't come up with a reason to ban it before Jalen Hurts' career is over. It's just comical to me that you can't stop it or run it yourself, so let's ban it. One team's master to play. One team's worked their ass off on getting the right leverage. Always. Figure it out. There's a lot of smart people out there in the NFL, and they can't figure out a way to stop it. 92% effective this season. Yeah, the Eagles actually had a little stretch this year where they actually missed a few. So teams are starting to figure it out a little bit, but no team can figure out how to run the play because nobody has that team attitude where, we'll put our bodies on the line to win. Good morning, little J. Hope you are well. What's it say? What? Are we having problems with comments again? Damn it. Give me a second. Comments are not switching on the screen. I can star them, but I can't comment on them. I hate when this happens. There we go. A quarterback sneak is legal as long as no aiding the runner. That's not the rule, but okay. You want that to be the rule? That's fine. What are they going to say? An offensive player can't make contact with another player? Yeah. They're going to say, well, the language will be something you cannot push a player forward. Now, the defense can you can't push a player forward, but the defense can push you backwards. Yeah, because that really makes it fair, right? We used Pickett under center, and he was able to run it to the second time trying. It has so that proves that it's not just Jalen Hurts. It's the Eagles' philosophy that makes it work. Phil is aiding the runner banned already. No, it's not. It's not. I don't see how there's anything wrong with what they are doing. There's something seriously. Before I even read the second half of your comment, Jason, there's something seriously wrong with it. That no one can stop it, and that's the problem. It's the O-line going at the defense, and the quarterback is just following them into the end zone or for the first down. The offensive line is the key to the tush push, not Jalen Hurts, not the push from behind. It's Cam Jurgens, formerly Jason Kelsey, getting super low. It's Jordan Mailata and Landon Dickerson pushing and pushing with every ounce of energy. It's an offensive line play, not a quarterback play. That bothers people. If I remember correctly, they allowed the pushing from another player just about 5 years ago. Yeah, there was originally a rule, and it changed about 5-6 years ago, something like that. If no one pushing the quarterback, it should be okay. Well, you know what? Why shouldn't they be allowed to push the quarterback? Because you can't stop it. Because your team, Josh Allen, can't run it. So let's hamper the team that has successfully mastered a play. Next thing you know, you're not going to be able to run zone defenses. Next thing you know, Quinion Mitchell isn't going to be allowed to play in the secondary. Next thing you know, Saquon Barkley is going to only be allowed to touch the ball 12 times a game. Next thing you know, Saquon Barkley is going to have to kneel down after he rushes for 10 yards. If you can't stop something, you can't change the rule to everything to meet you being able to stop it. It's comical. It really is. If pushing the running back is not already banned, I say keep the tush push. There is no ban in the NFL on any of that right now. There isn't. Anyway, if you can't push the quarterback, then we will put together another. Yeah, we'll figure it out. I'm not worried about it. Not at all. Maybe they will say you can't use your hands to aid the runner. Okay. Well, then we'll just use our heads or something else. Something happened to the Sixers. Are you really? Deebs is more interested in talking about the Sixers than what's a more annoying thing to discuss on a Tuesday morning? The Sixers or the tush push? I don't know. I should run a poll on that one. The Sixers are done. They've quit. As long as they don't call it the process and tanking, I think we'll get away with it. Jason Kelsey just said it's terrible on centers because it's all about the center. The center is the one that has to lay their body on the line for the play. Have we not learned from the Brady rule? Yeah. You got to adjust things to meet the stars, plain and simple. Hinkie mastered the tank, and the league came down on them. Yeah, exactly. That's a great point. The Sixers had to have their executive run out of the league because they mastered something. The Eagles mastered something. God forbid. It will come to a head with an injury. There's injuries on every play. Josh Giddey used Nick Nurse's ass as a pin cushion last night. Did you watch it? Because I didn't watch it. They will push with their shoulders. Yeah, exactly. What's up, Steven Fuentes? How are you this morning? It turns football into rugby. It's a football play, plain and simple. Hey, give credit to the Sixers. The players got the memo last night. That was an amazing loss. Ah, man, trying to bring my energy down. Paul George, after the Sixers game, basically calling out the Sixers team for not being even a playoff effort. The guy that's given no effort on the court, because he gives plenty of effort on his podcast. It's funny. The two most disappointing Sixers this year, Paul George and Joel Embiid, are the ones calling out the effort the most. It's comical. Deebs. Comical. If Paul George wants to call people out, he better take a look in the mirror on himself. Because Paul George has done nothing to do that. Nothing to earn the right to call anybody on the Sixers out. Good morning, Bruce Bryce Harper. How you doing this morning? Hope you are well. We're talking tush push. We're going to talk Saquon Barkley. Got a great guest coming up soon. And obviously, Deebs wants to talk Sixers too. So we got the Sixers in the conversation. I didn't think the Sixers would be in the conversation, but the Sixers are. But I love the narrative. The Sixers mastered something, the tank, the process. Hell, they monetized it. And they shut that down in the NBA. The Eagles have mastered the tush push. So the league is trying to shut it down. So I asked the question yesterday on Twitter, if they did ban the tush push, how many more touchdowns would Saquon Barkley get? PHLY Sports with the great headline, Bulls. Oh, with the stars. Gotcha. Yeah, I guess. Giving promotion to the other channel. It's okay. It's all right. Excuse me. It's all right. Promote the other channel. Promote the competition. Not that they're competition to me, because I'm 10 times better than them. I feel we should never have signed Paul George. Oh, I told everybody it was a terrible idea. I said signing Paul George was an awful idea. I also said signing Saquon Barkley was a bad idea. I was wrong on one. Like horribly wrong on one. And unfortunately, massively right on the other. And so, yeah. So for every bad take I've had a good take here or there. And Paul George was a bad one or a bad signing. They will get off of Paul George, I hope, this offseason. Not sure how. The only reason they want to stop the tush push is because they don't have the talent. They don't have the ability. It's I don't know if it's about talent or not stopping the tush push. It's about coming up with a philosophy, and it's coming up with a team. You need a defense, a defensive lineman, a nose tackle that's willing to take out the center, not like in a mean way, like get lower than the center, put his body on the line to stop it. But no one's willing to do it. Again, it goes back to the banning of the shift in baseball. Hitters were becoming incapable of hitting the ball opposite field, the majority of them. So there's a lot of ground ball outs, a lot of fly ball outs. And so they ban it. Instead of hitters learning, hitting coaches teaching how to hit the ball the opposite field to beat the shift. That, to me, was a horrible decision, rule change. And if they decide to do this with the tush push, the same thing. Yes, the NFL Combine starts tomorrow, but yeah. I have not started it yet. I hate the fact that only 3 episodes were released, Deebs. Then I got to go week to week. I might just wait till the whole series release. Reacher is the type of show you want to be able to watch 3 episodes a night, not one at a time. And after the first 3 episodes, it's 1 a week. And I don't know if I can handle that. So, honestly, why don't they just ban the 13 or 23 personnel while they're at it? Yeah, it's like, basketball is going to ban the zone defense. What's hockey going to do? Next, that I don't even know what the hockey rule equivalent was. Like, every time you can't do something, let's just ban it. It's a joke. It really is. I'm mad that it was Green Bay. Yeah, look, we beat them twice with it. But I'm sure that the thing is, the rule change, there's a lot of teams that don't like it because they can't succeed at it or run it or whatnot. So I wouldn't be shocked if there's a lot of votes to ban the tush push. How does someone master losing? Seems fairly simple to me. Yeah, the Sixers have mastered losing. That is for sure. Combines are nothing more than half the projected first-round quarterback. Yeah, I don't really get into the combine. I think the NFL Combine, too much gets put into it. I'd rather watch tape and film and interview the athletes. I don't need a 40-yard dash. I don't need to see you throwing to wide open receivers. I need to see your in-game comprehension. The combine is important, sure, but I think too much value is placed in. You'll see people after this weekend and their combine workouts shoot up the draft board. How often does that actually work out for the player? I want to see the game film. That's what I want to see. And the interviews. That's all I care about. Well, now the Senior Bowl and Combine is Christmas to me. It's not that I'm crushing it. It's that I think too much gets put on these individualized workouts, in my opinion. I tell you what, my real issue is put GPS in the ball, stupid refs. What? I feel they ban the tush push, then Nick will figure out another. Exactly. I'm sure Nick's got 2 or 3 other options up his sleeve. Oh. Bet he's got 2 or 3 other options up his sleeve, already planned out. Shout out to Mister. Always shout out to Mister. Combine be really good when your team garbage. Yeah, the quarterbacks don't work out in the combine, though. The tush push or the tush ban would be a slippery slope in the NFL. Without a shadow of actually, I like that. Yeah, it would be a slippery slope. For sure. It would definitely set a precedent for certain types of plays being banned. It's unfortunate, but you're onto something there, Big Al. Sometimes losing is hard on the road, on the soul. That's why the Moses walked in the Israelites through the desert for 40 years to get rid of the slave man. Oh, man. Going deep there. When a running back or wide receiver is fighting for extra yards and gets pushed from behind, what's the difference? Or what's the difference when they're trying to fight for the extra yards and 3 more defensive players come up and push them backwards? It's a physical contact sport. What are we going to do? Turn the NFL into flag football at some point? Going to have to wait until 27 for the nation's event to return to hockey. Next year is the Olympics, likely not to be as exciting since it'll be the IHF rules, no fights, and played in one city. Where are the Olympics next year, Freddie? I forgot the Winter Olympics are coming. I love the Winter Olympics, just so you know. I'm a huge Winter Olympics guy. I love the hype machine, but you're right. It's very overrated. Yeah, it's not that I feel like I'm doing it a disservice by saying overrated. I think it's overvalued, maybe is the right word. Because too much, X player ran a great 40-yard dash. So let's make him our future cornerstone of X position. To me, that's just, I don't care if you can run a drill in a controlled setting. I want to know if you can run the tush push with the Super Bowl on the line. I want to know what you're capable of doing when all the chips are on the table. The tush push is just a play that we mastered and your team did not. Plain and simple. I say the NBA should have forced teams to pay their fans back. Dude, if you would have paid money to see last night's Sixers game, I'm going to call an institution and have you institutionalized for sure. For sure. The truth is the NFL has been transitioning into a soft league for years. You're not wrong on that, Phoebes. Not at all. It has. It's in Italy, the Winter Olympics? Really? I don't even remember hearing that. It would be like stopping plays that throw over 30 yards. Would a defensive wide receiver getting hit be more dangerous than the tush push? Yeah, a defenseless. Yeah. Yeah. Absolutely agree with you on that. Okafor could guard. Okafor would drop 25 for the Sixers right now with the way the rest of the team is playing. Wouldn't shock me at all to see it get banned. I wouldn't be shocked if it gets banned either. Not at all. NBA should institute relaxation like soccer does. Yeah. All right, guys, real quick, fire through these last couple comments. Our guest is in the studio here, so I want to bring him on, guys. You're watching Trending in the AM right here on the STT Sports Network. Please like, subscribe, and share. And guys, joining me on the I Have No Sponsor hotline, first time in a little while here, good friend of the show, Coach Dale Carlson. Dale, good morning. How are you?
I'm good, Phil. How are you this morning? It's kind of a rainy day down here in Florida, but it's not complaining though with the way the weather's been up north. But my Florida time's coming quickly to an end, so I got to enjoy what's left of it. But I'm doing great.
Yeah, no complaining if you're in Florida and the weather in Florida. Although it's actually warming up a little bit up here. No complaining. I don't know if you were listening to the last couple of moments there of the show. We've been talking. I know I told you we were going to talk about Nick Sirianni and the Eagles coaching, job they did in 2024. But obviously, the big news coming out yesterday was the league is considering banning a play that the Eagles have mastered and no one else has been able to master, the quote-unquote tush push. What are your thoughts on the tush push play and the fact that some people around the NFL believe it should be a banned play in the NFL?
Well,
I think we lost him there already.
It's a quarterback sneak, Phil. That's all it is. It's a quarterback sneak with a big push behind the quarterback, and I really don't think it should be banned. I mean, I think that's crazy. Figure out how to stop it. Against the Bills in the AFC Championship. So, I mean, you can't do it. You just got to figure a way to do it.
Do we got you there? Are you there? Can you hear us?
Yeah, I'm here. I don't know. It could be the internet time that we're running. But if you didn't catch it, I'll go through it again. The Chiefs, did a good job against the Bills with it. So, and I mean, the Green Bay, I'm not quite sure why Green Bay even put that up there because, they threw 3 interceptions in the first playoff game. So I don't know what the tush push had to do with anything in Green Bay. So I don't get it. I think they should keep it, or if they're going to ban the tush push, then they got to ban all aiding the runner plays like the rules used to be. back whatever that was, 10 years ago or so, then they got to ban it all. You can't just pick one play because one team's been real successful with it.
Yeah, I mean, it's, somebody commented a few moments ago that it's a slippery slope. Once they start banning certain types of plays, what's going to be the next play that they ban, et cetera, et cetera.
Mhm.
I compared, I know you're a baseball guy too. You love baseball. It's like old school me hated the banning of the shift because you couldn't learn how to hit the ball opposite field. So you had to ban the shift in baseball. Learn how to execute it yourself or stop it yourself. Don't just change the rules because one team has mastered a play.
Yeah, absolutely. And again, I mean, in fact, I remember when Kelsey retired, the whole thing was, well, are they going to be able to run the tush push with a new center in there because he's the apex, the whole thing.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like they know how to coach it. They coached it up. I mean, Jeff Stoutland's the best offensive line coach in the NFL. But like I said,
I think we lost him again there. Are you there?
yeah, I apologize. We're having some, it's just internet connection, I think, here. So,
yeah.
But anyways, figure out how to stop it. Don't go ban it just because, they've been successful with it. And here's the thing. All right, so go ahead and ban it. Then how many touchdowns Saquon Barkley going to have next year, rushing the football? So pick poison.
Yeah. I'm gonna try to get one question at least in here with Nick Sirianni. But we might have to cut this. I'm having trouble hearing pretty much everything from you here at this point.
Okay.
Sorry. So real quick before we lose you completely, obviously, Nick Sirianni and the Eagles had a fantastic season. Nick Sirianni has been an oft criticized coach for his coaching style, but the record and the stats show that what he is doing is working. You've been in the coaching, game for a very long time. What should Nick Sirianni do this offseason? Does he need to change anything philosophical or the message that he tells the team? Because a lot of this team is going to be returning. It's going to be the same guys for the most part, minus plus a few free agents and draft picks. The coaching job he did was great, but does it need to change at all going from one season to the next when you come off so much success?
Well, you're always going to, every year is a new year. So you're always going to have some sort of a different message. And I don't know exactly what that's going to have to be, but you can't just say, well, we're going to do the same old that we did last year. The guys have come together. They've won a Super Bowl. They had a great season. So now you have to come up with a message to sustain that, and that being on the inner circle, I'm not saying.
We lost him again.
Yeah, I know. Yeah,
I think what we're going to do is I'm unfortunately going to have to cut this out. Maybe we'll try to rehook up when you get back out of Florida there.
All right, that sounds good. I apologize for.
No, it's all good. I apologize. I can't hear anything that you're saying really.
All right, Phil.
Sorry about that.
Okay.
Sorry about that, guys. I'll catch up on the comments in a second. Coach Dale Carlson is one of the best there, and I love Coach Dale Carlson. I really wanted to get some of his takes on the coaching situation with the Eagles and stuff like that. But we will get him back on the show in the coming weeks, and now I will catch up on some of the comments that will kind of hurt the show because I don't have a lot prepared for today. I could only hear him a little bit. Yeah, exactly. Maybe they put a cap on how many times you run the tush push per game. I think that's a slippery slope too. You can't do that. The Bills suck at it. They run a half quarterback sneak, half tush push. Allen needed to be right under center and not take half a step back. Yeah, absolutely. We lost audio a few times. Unfortunately, it seems like, I don't know. He said he'd come on. I didn't know he was on vacation. I feel bad making him do a show on vacation. Phil and kind guest, can you say if you think this complaint against the tush push is a league-wide complaint? I'm sure there is half a dozen or more people or teams that are against it. I'm sure Washington, I'm battling Washington, ref the district right now in the comments of a Twitter, about the play. Unfortunately, if you can't beat it, ban it. That's the philosophy in this league. Imagine being a fan of a team and asking to ban a play because your team is too weak to stop it. It's something. Yeah, the Wi-Fi. Look, I didn't realize he was on vacation. Shout out to Dale for wanting to do a show while he's on vacation. I will vouch for Dale. I've stayed in a lot of rental houses. Okay, rental house Wi-Fi is not always very good on vacation. Solar flares messed up the radio signal. Is that what it was? I'm not saying it's aliens, but maybe it is. Maybe it is. What's up, IRL Sim Racing? Wonder if KC, Baltimore Bills, etc., was successful with it. It would. I love this comment from you, and hopefully you hit the like and the subscribe button. Everybody, like and subscribe. The race to 500 subscribers is on. Yeah, if the Kansas City Chiefs were successful, there would be no complaint about the tush push, right? It's simple, simple. The Eagles are hate it, and because of that, they're going to ban a play because the Eagles are good at it. The Packers have hacked the feed to exactly. Dang, man. Yeah. Sorry. Hey, I try. You guys want to guess? I try to bring on guests. We got Chris Franklin coming on Thursday, just so you know as well. So stay tuned with that. Best movies about bad Wi-Fi. Terminator. Okay. Never thought of that before. Best way to stop it is to not get. And I love this. This is a great comment. And I talked about this on the Eagles check down this morning, and I've talked about it on a few other things on social media. Dude. You can't stop the tush push? Well, don't let the Eagles get the 3rd and 1 or 4th and goal on the 1 yard line. Stop them. Stop them on 3rd and 7. Stop them on 2nd and 10. Stop them. Play better defense. That's how you stop the tush push. Play better defense. Plain and simple. Skynet was the worst. You can only use the onside kick on the 4th quarter and must declare. That has ruined it. That was another dumb rule. I know they're trying to protect athletes on kickoffs, but having to pre-declare the onside kick, seriously, that's stupid. I still think the onside kick rule should go away altogether. You should be able to take the ball on offense, 4th and 20 from the 30, and if you get it, great. If you don't, the opposing team picks the ball up wherever. I think that's how you should eliminate the onside kick altogether and give the offense a chance at 4th and 20. Florida strikes again. Florida does something regularly, that is for sure. I feel the teams complaining are an embarrassment to the league as they are trying to change the rules to compensate for their deficient personnel and or coaching. 100% agree with you. 100% agree with you on that, Bruce. Saints calling onside kick to open second half was one of the worst memorable calls in recent Super Bowl history. Yeah. It just, I don't even have words to describe it. I don't. Make sure to check if Chris is on vacation. Yeah, I'll double check if he's on vacation, like Coach Dale. Not going to lie, there were games this year. The O-line was so good, I would have pushed it for a first down. I don't think I would have, but I think maybe you, Deebs, maybe you. But seriously, the Eagles have prioritized offensive line and defensive line, trenches, and the foundation of a team being in the trenches for so long. That's why there's a reason why. There are great quarterbacks in the NFL. Joe Burrow, Josh Allen, Patrick Mahomes, obviously. But those teams don't prioritize the offensive line like the Eagles. That's why they get banged up. That's why they get hurt. That's why they fail. Your quarterback's only as good as his offensive line. The tush push is only as successful as the offensive line lets it to be. And Coach Dale, before we lost him there, brought up, it's all, the linchpin of that play is the center. And it wasn't just Jason Kelce. You take out Jason Kelce, you put in Cam Jurgens, and the play was still able to be run on the regular. And it's frustrating that the NFL, will they or won't they? Maybe, maybe not this year ban it. But they're trying to because only one team can successfully run the play. Not sure, but I think they were piloting that 4th and 20 play in the UFL. That means we should go and watch it, right? Yeah. Yeah, that's right up TMZ's alley right there, UFL. Look, I love the idea. 4th and 20 instead of an onside kick. And wherever the play ends, if it's not a first down, that's where the opposing team gets the ball. I think it's a smart way. I think it would be exciting. Could you imagine? You score a touchdown. Say you're down 10 points, 12 points. You score a touchdown with a minute left, and then you got to go 4th and 20 from your side of the field on the 30, and you get it. And then, dude, I think it would be great. I think it would be a fantastic option right there. Don't they want more offense in the NFL? More points? It would give you a chance to put more points on the board. They can't ban the tush push due to injury because there isn't enough data. They can't ban it because it is illegal, because it isn't. The only reason they can ban it is because no one else can stop it. All right, to ban a play, like they tried to ban the hip, well, they did ban the hip drop tackle. It just wasn't called once all year long because there is data that tackle caused injuries. They banned the horse collar tackle because of injuries. They banned hitting quarterbacks in the head or defenseless receivers because of injuries. There has been no injuries or not enough injuries to prove it. Will they use the Cam's back surgery to get rid of you can't ban a play because of one person getting injured, in my opinion. I already put that up. O-line is the Wi-Fi of this team. The O-line is important for a lot of teams, successful teams. If Vince Lombardi was around today, he would denounce the Packers for crying about the tush push. Well, you know, right now, the only people are crying about or that are denouncing the tush push or denouncing the Packers for crying about the tush push are Eagles fans. Everybody else is anti-tush push because everybody else's team can't run it. Good morning, Anthony. The Eagles proposed that rule change where you get one play to get 20 yards to keep the ball every year, but no one will vote for it. And I don't know why. Because the NFL wants more offense. The onside kick is a very low percentage play. The onside kick can't even be a surprise play anymore. I've heard, and I didn't read about it yet. I'll wait till the NFL puts all of them out there. But I have read that the NFL is working on tweaking the kickoff rule again. It took me the entire year to figure out how the rules changed on the kickoff, finally get it down, and they're going to change the kickoff rules again. Like, can we just not leave the game as is? Do we have to change the rules every single offseason? Seriously. Can't we just enjoy the way it is? I don't know. But the onside kick is just, I mean, I go back and I think about the onside kick the way it used to be. Always a low percentage play. But if you remember, the older people in the crowd, the Eagles against the Dallas Cowboys, David Akers starts the game off with an onside kick. Andy Reid, early in the Andy Reid era. I forget what year it was. And they get the onside kick to start the game. That actually sparked the turnaround in the Eagles organization, in my opinion, in the Andy Reid, Donovan McNabb era, that play. But there was a surprise. And even before they made the rule that you had to declare the onside kick, they made it where you couldn't load one side up, again, for safety purposes. But the onside kick, while it's always been low percentage, at least had some surprise element to it. But now there's not. Yeah, it was the pickle juice game. I don't remember, was that 2000 or 2001? I want to say it was 2000. McNabb's second year. I forget what year the pickle juice game was, but at least there was a surprise element to it. You couldn't get that situation in today's NFL. And to me, that's a problem. They're trying to ban it because it's the most physical play in football. The NFL has been going away from physical. Yeah. And look, you know, going away from the physical aspect of the game, you know, I feel like I'm on both sides. We are smarter people now than we ever have been. Okay? We don't need people having CTE and issues with their brains and stuff like that anymore. We could make the game safer. But you can make the game safer and still keep the physicality. You can make the game safer and still keep the excitement. You can teach better fundamentals at the lower levels on tackling and protecting themselves. You're telling me we can't come up with a better form of padding and helmets that protect the players a little bit more? Like, there's got to be a common ground. You can't, I don't want it to become flag football. And you know what? Trying to make it less physical has two things. One, it's not as fun. But because the game's so physical, you're seeing less and less kids sign up to play football at an early age. Look, my nephew, 9, has no desire to play football. He doesn't. And I don't know the exact reasons, but the game's physical. He doesn't want to get hurt. Less and less kids are learning to play football at an early age because of the physicality. And they're trying to make it safer. You're seeing Little League football now go away from padded games to flag football, which is only going to make tackling and technique worse down the line for them, but that's another subject. The NFL better be careful because it's slowly turning into the NBA. Well, the NBA is a disaster of a league. It's not just the Sixers are unwatchable because they suck. The NBA's entire game is terrible at this point because it's gotten soft. It's gotten too lazy. It's become a sport where taking 40-foot jump shots is the norm. We're watching a highlight video from earlier this year of LaMelo Ball with Charlotte one game. He took like 15 or 17 three-point shots in the game, only made like 4 of them. I was like, who wants to watch that? Nobody. Yeah, if it ain't broke, break it. Yeah. K-Wan, this is a fantastic, but this is the problem with the NFL as well, and baseball. These sports, instead of fixing the things that are wrong with the game. Like, I give the NHL credit beyond belief. The NHL's got a problem with, exposure and getting, the names out there in the world to see and watch. So what did they do? They put together the Four Nations tournament, and more people than ever watched hockey. Now, it won't translate immediately, but it was a great idea to fix something that's broken. The NFL, NBA, instead of fixing their all-star festivities, Pro Bowl festivities, are changing the rules to make the game less entertaining. And that is a problem. Only a matter of time until a physician is paid off to prove, yeah. I wouldn't be shocked if that physician's already been paid. I wouldn't be shocked if 3 or 4 physicians haven't been paid already. I would be shocked. I don't know if it's a majority or maybe more than the majority needs to vote to change a rule in the NFL. But say it's 60%. I bet you 55% have already said they'll vote to ban it. Now it's that last few, will they ban it or not? And again, there's only 2 teams that run the play successfully, the Eagles and the Ravens. The Ravens use Mark Andrews, not Lamar Jackson, to run it. So I don't even know if you could call it the tush push, so to speak. But I guarantee there's plenty of that kind of stuff going around. The NHL being leagues ahead of other pro sports was not on my 2025. Just leagues ahead in trying something different to help grow the game. Now, I don't know, a League of Nations thing wouldn't work in football. I don't know if you can ever make players care about the Pro Bowl again. But the NBA All-Star Game, NBA All-Star Weekend, you could do a Four Nations tournament. The NBA tried something. They did the in-season, the NBA Cup, the Emirates Cup now is what it's called, right? And that was just stupid. But I've brought up countless ideas on how to make All-Star Weekend more enjoyable for the fans, give more exposure to the league. Now I'll have to sit down and think about ways that the NFL can do the same thing. I'm not sure yet on that. But, look, the NHL tried something, and they got creative, and it worked. I've heard more people talk and ask me over the last couple of weeks, did you watch the Four Nations tournament? Like I did. And I didn't, because didn't even realize it was happening until it was too late. but I give the NHL buco credit for trying something different and figuring it out. Sports betting has also changed the game and outcomes of games. These roughing the passer rules are ridiculous. LT couldn't play in today's NFL. Yeah, could you imagine how many personal? We think that Derek Barnett got a lot of personal fouls. Imagine Lawrence Taylor or Reggie White in today's NFL, for sure. And sports betting, how much has that changed? Well, it's changed the outcome of games, absolutely. I was watching a highlight video the other day of a college basketball game where the ref missed like 2 straight, like clear fouls. One was called like an and one situation was called an on the floor foul, and then the other team, he called a charge on the other, not a charge, a defensive foul on a block. I forget which college game it was, but it was like clear as day that there was something there. There was another one I saw yesterday floating around where a college kid kicked another kid blatantly in the balls, and the ref stared right at it and let it go. These refs in sports, man. Definitely in basketball, college and pros. I don't know how much in football, maybe in basketball. Baseball, with the ABS system, if that becomes ever real, might take some of that away. Nobody will ever care about the Pro Bowl because the players themselves don't. Look, I get you. I agree. But nobody cared about the All-Star game in the NHL. Now all of a sudden the players did because they came up with a way to make them care. I don't think you'll be able to make the NFL players care, but they can come up with something. There's got to be something that the players at the end of the season can do that they care about that would bring. I remember as a kid growing up in the 80s being excited to watch the Pro Bowl. I do. And all the quarterback challenge and stuff like that. I don't know what the answer is to the NFL now. The Pro Bowl game itself will never be what it once was, but there's got to be something. $50 super chat. Why didn't we hear anyone complain about the tush push when the Eagles were on? Yeah, exactly. Look, someday there'll be a super chat. Got to get to the 500 subscribers, then I can apply to have the super chats put on. All right? What are we at? We start the show at 4:42. We ended last night at 4:44. I woke up to 2 less subscribers this morning, so at least got to gain those 2 back today. And then we can get those super chats turned back on because I would love that. Remember the time when there were real rivalries and it was okay that players didn't like each other? Look, I've said it and I've got criticized massively, especially in the NBA chat, about how much buddy everybody is. I don't want my teammates or my players yakking it up with the opposing team after they get beat by 40. I don't want my team to enjoy spending time with the opponents. I don't want them playing on the same like they're all playing in these summer leagues all the time, in the off season, and teammates. No, work your ass off to beat them next year. Don't let them beat you. It's ridiculous, guys. You're watching Trending in the AM on the STT Sports Network. Like, subscribe, share, tell a friend. All the things on the screen, guys. Please, I greatly appreciate it. I need it. Let's go. The NHL has it. They're figuring it out, we'll say. They tried to ban it last year. They did, and it didn't get voted. We are just successful at it. Yeah, you can't ban a quarterback sneak. They could ban the running back from. See, the thing is, you ban the tush push. They're still going to run it. They're just not going to line up Saquon Barkley and A.J. Brown behind Jalen Hurts. What they're going to do is they're going to put A.J. Brown and Saquon Barkley on each side of Jalen Hurts. And they'll just push the offensive lineman instead of Jalen Hurts. Jalen Hurts is going to be squatting 700 pounds this offseason instead of 6 to still find a way to beat the play. It's because hockey players respect the honesty of their sport way more than basketball or football. Let me think about it. Hockey players respect the honesty of their sport. Maybe they respect the history of their sport more, for sure. Yeah, I think you might be onto something there. NBA's bad. They pay guys way too much for what they used to do versus what they can do. They allow the stars to run the league. Cough, LeBron. Yeah, the NBA allowed players to become higher than the league. And it's why I believe the NBA is going to hit a huge lockout, Big Al, at some point. Huge lockout incoming in the NBA. Whenever the next agreement is up. Huge lockout incoming in the NBA. I strongly believe that. That ended with the advent of timeless or limitless free agency and the end of team loyalties. Look, I don't hate a player for leaving a team for more money. Free agency is what free agency is. Okay? Team loyalty. I don't expect players to take pay cuts to stay on a team that got them their NBA start or NFL start. I'm okay with players taking the money and leaving. But the rivalries, the hatred, like we're supposed to hate the Boston Celtics, right? And after the Celtics game, when we came out of the All-Star break, you got Paul George and Joel Embiid yapping it up, having a good old time with Tatum and company. Like, no, you got your asses whooped. I don't even want you shaking hands after the game. Like, have some hatred. The jersey swap. I hate the jersey swap after sporting basketball games and football games. Oh, I need your jersey and you can have my jersey. No, I don't want a Celtics jersey when I'm playing on the Sixers, hanging in my office. Get the hell out of here with that. The NBA added the 3-second violation because of the dominance of Wilt Chamberlain in the paint. We are going back in time for that one. It's a good pull, mister. Instead of trying to figure out a way to stop Wilt Chamberlain, they changed the rules. Didn't even know that rule was something added and not, just always there. Political tensions between the finalists also helped shed light on hockey. Much as we want to avoid these conversations, sometimes has to be said. Now moving on. Yeah, I don't want to get politics into it. I'm already getting bashed on Twitter for politics because the Eagles are or aren't skipping the invite to the White House. Someone said they were skipping it. Now it's saying that they will go. Look, we keep the politics out of it. But yeah, I would love to see Embiid justify not resting for the next 4 years. Joel Embiid's got to get just retire. Honestly, do the right thing, help the team, help the city, and just retire. Just do it. Like, there is nothing good. And the fact that he was ruled out of yesterday's game, last second, like 5 o'clock, just enough time to sell some more tickets, and they still haven't even ruled him out for the next game. Nick Nurse was at. Is he out for the year? No, we're not doing that yet. He might come back later this year. Like, seriously. That is the problem in Philadelphia. Transparency. How about just in sports in general, just be more transparent? The NBA even banned the slam dunk for a couple years because of Wilt. Did they? I wouldn't even have known that one. I hope the Eagles are skipping the White House. Look, you could get political. I won't get political. That's their choice. That's their decision. Personally, I wouldn't go, but if they want to go, that's fine as well. Look, if half the team wants to go, fine, whatever. But we do not make our decisions and our opinions of our team. I always say, and this is an opinion I formed dating back to the Michael Vick situation. I cheer for the jersey, not the players wearing the jersey necessarily. So let's leave the politics out of the conversation as much as we can. Can the Sixers buy out Embiid? I don't know how that works. I don't think they can. It would still count against the cap, I think. I don't know how the NBA cap works. Yeah, apparently the invite wasn't set. Yeah, everybody's raging about stuff that we don't know about. Yeah, it's ridiculous. The whole White House situation with the Eagles and the Super Bowl champions, it's something that was blown out of proportions on social media before anybody even knew what the deal was going on. And look, we all have different opinions on the politics of our country. We do. We all have different opinions on the trajectory of this country. But this is a sports show. This is a fun show. You want me to do a politics show? I'll start a new channel, and we'll just talk politics on that. But we won't. I'm not wasting my time on that. That's what Philly do, break records. Philly changes the trajectory of sports, obviously, in the NBA with Wilt and with the Eagles in the TUSH push. Plain and simple. We change sports. We change the history of sports. Our city transcends sports. We're just that special. We're just that special. Can't help it. All right. We're almost at the top of the hour here. Unfortunately, again, no Dale Carlson today. Wi-Fi on vacation was not ideal. It's all good. I will work on getting Dale back on in the next week or two. Probably not next week, but maybe the following week I'll try to get Dale on. I really wanted to dive into with him and get his decades experience, because he's got decades of experience in coaching, on what Nick Sirianni's got to do different this offseason to next year. Does he got to change the message somehow to keep the team motivated? I really wanted to dive into that with him, plus the choice of hiring Kevin Patullo from within versus going outside for an outside voice. I really wanted to dive into that with him, but unfortunately, the Wi-Fi was not working for him. We didn't go in 2018. Well, technically, the White House rescinded that offer at the last second too, because they heard that we weren't going to go. But again, whatever. Look, I don't know. Politics are too personal now. Is that the right word? People take politics too personally now to let sports be about and politics to mix. Joel Embiid retires as Sixer. Does his jersey get retired? It's an interesting question. I ain't going to lie. Half of me wants to say, yes, it does get retired. The other half of me wants to say yes, but not immediately. Joel Embiid, if he retires or barely plays again for the Sixers or anywhere in the NBA, Joel Embiid might go down as the greatest what-if athlete of all time. Joel Embiid had the skill set, the athleticism, the ability to be one of the greatest players in NBA history. But knees, ankles, discipline, and discipline I mean in changing your playing style to protect yourself, it just wasn't there for him. But even then, he was still an MVP runner-up. He was still a dominant athlete, led the league in scoring. I don't know. I think at some point, Joel's jersey would go up in the rafters, but maybe not immediately. Russian athletes still can't compete under their own flag in the Olympics. So there's that. Is that still going on? Good for them. Yeah. Again, I just learned that the Olympics are happening next year. I totally forgot about it. Guys, at top of the hour here, trending the AM, STT Sports Network. Like, subscribe, share, please. This should have a minimum of 20 likes on it right now on the YouTube channel. Sure, it doesn't, so please hit that like button. And it should have more than 442 subscribers, so please hit that subscribe button and that share button. I'm going to bring another topic into the conversation today, but we can continue on with the tush push ban. We can continue on with the Sixers. But I was joking on Twitter yesterday about if the tush push was banned, that Saquon Barkley over or under 25 touchdowns if that happened. But then I got thinking, and I started doing some research. And I'm using fantasy football stats or rankings to kind of justify this because it was the first thing I could find. But Saquon Barkley this past year, playoffs and regular season, had almost 500 touches combined. 482 touches to be exact. Right? He was number one fantasy running back this year. Obviously, 2,000 yards. We'll do that for you. Okay? Top fantasy running backs. The year after that they had those, numbers of touches, okay? Christian McCaffrey twice on the list. Last year, fell to 68th this year. 5 years ago, fell to 53rd after being the top running back. Josh Jacobs, after being the top running back a few years ago, 28th. Derrick Henry, after being the top running back, fell to 21st. Najee Harris only fell to 14th. Every time a running back leads the league in touches and has close to 500 touches, the next year is a massive down year. And there were other stats, guys going from 5 yards a carry to 3.5 yards a carry and stuff like that. Part one, are we concerned of a dip in Saquon Barkley's production? And B, do the Eagles need to protect him early in the season next year so that by the end of the season, he's still productive, and B, so he doesn't get injured? A lot of Christian McCaffrey's big years followed up with injury-prone years. And Saquon Barkley in his career has gotten banged up and had injuries. So the question is, are you concerned that Saquon Barkley's usage this year will affect him next year, and what do the Eagles need to do differently offensively to protect him? And that brings into the conversation bringing back Kenny Gainwell, going out and signing another running back. We joked about Miles Sanders yesterday. What's the answer to protect Saquon Barkley, to make sure that this offense is still humming and hauling and dominating teams? Joel Embiid's numbers are better than Charles Barkley. Absolutely. Joel Embiid is elite. The problem with Joel Embiid that people will say no to your question, Mister, is because they don't like the way it's going now. The current run is going to scar his legacy initially. But I think in the end, eventually we will remember Joel Embiid as a what if and as a dominant player. There will be a production decrease, but I don't think it will be substantial. Will it be a production decrease or an efficiency decrease? Because a lot of the problems that I'm bringing up with Saquon Barkley, it's an efficient. Those running backs become less efficient the next year. Yards per carry, touchdowns, things like that. I could see them decreasing his production to keep his efficiency at a certain level. But to do that, you either got to do two things. You got to bring in another running back that can carry the ball. I'm not sure I'm ready to have Will Shipley carrying the ball 10, 12 times a game. Not sure Will Shipley could do the blitz pickups that Saquon Barkley and Kenny Gainwell can. So the question is, do you bring in somebody else? Do you draft somebody else? Or do you just go into next year with two adequate average backups like a Kenny Gainwell and a Will Shipley and hope that there isn't that efficiency drop from Saquon Barkley? I see his touches decreasing, especially in the beginning. Okay, and are those touches decreasing because they're going to have a more pass-happy offense? Or do they bring in another running back that can carry a little bit more of the load that I wouldn't trust Will Shipley to carry? I can see them running it with Shipley and another Kenny Gainwell or Boston Scott type guy and just passing the ball more. Because let's be honest, the haters will say you can't do it, but we all know Jalen Hurts can throw the football. So maybe we just see a slight uptick in the passing game. We see a slight uptick in the Devontae Smith and A.J. Brown usage and targets. Maybe that's what we see. It will be both. There will be a efficiency decrease because 7-yard average is not sustainable. All right, yeah, obviously. But I'm talking about, even if he averaged 5 yards a carry, I wouldn't call that a decrease in efficiency because it was an otherworldly year that he had. It will be, does he fall to like a 3.5 yard per carry kind of game? Do we see that Super Bowl type production from him? I don't know. I think passes increase and some other running backs get touches. So a little bit of a balance. What's up, Timmy boy? How you doing? My man Tim over there at PSN. Shipley is nice. Gainwell got away from outside cuts by watching Barkley. Shipley has learned from one of the best. He'll have a big uptick. Are you confident, Tim, that Will Shipley can be the number 2 running back in year 2? They better have a damn fine third option if they go in with Shipley as number 3. They better have a guy that's been there, done that before if they're going to do that. Because I'm not sure. Saquon Barkley is a great blitz pickup guy. Kenny Gainwell is really solid at it. Not sure if Will Shipley is because we haven't had that opportunity to see him in that role yet. And if they're going to pass more, you better be able to block. Because let's be honest, the Eagles' pass blocking is nowhere near as good as their run blocking is. We saw that a lot this year, which is something I've been talking about for a while. Kevin Patullo is a pass-first offense coordinator. He's Chan Gailey disciple. He's a Chan Gailey disciple? I didn't know that. And he also comes from, Nick Sirianni. Nick Sirianni does whatever works, which is running the ball. I don't know. I don't know what the plan is going to be. Shipley will be fine second running back. We could pick up a third running back in the draft or free agency. I mean, I do have the free agency list. I'm going to sort it by running backs only. So here are your free agent running backs this offseason. All right, obviously the top guy, Aaron Jones. Then you dip down to Raheem Mostert. Najee Harris is a free agent this year. Wow. A.J. Dillon, Nick Chubb, Javonte Williams, Madison, some of the cheaper guys, someone like Nyheim Hines. That would be a nice option to bring in. J.K. Dobbins, Chase Edmonds. He's still in the league. Samji Perine. These are your free agent running backs right now. D'Ernest Johnson, Rico Dowd, Kareem Hunt, Cam Akers. There's some of your top names that are free agent running backs. So maybe you do got to draft another one. Shipley ain't it, but Howie needs to save cost. Go get Miles Sanders. Give it to Shipley and bring in Miles Sanders. I know it's crazy to say it, but he could be a third option. The passing game was tough during the season, but by the end of the year, they worked out a good balance to do it. They'll be better. Yeah. I don't think the passing game was as bad as people think it was, Tim, in 2024. When you've got Saquon Barkley rushing for 2,000 yards, obviously it's going to take away some of the passing attempts, but it's obviously going to disrupt the flow of the passing game. When you've got to give Saquon Barkley the amount of touches you did because he was playing at such an all-worldly level, yeah, it's the balance wasn't there, which kept the consistency a little off. I have no issue, or I shouldn't say issue. I have no concern with the passing game being able to be efficient to take some of the workload off of Saquon Barkley next year, to keep him efficient. Because next year's goal is not to win 13 games or 14 games. Next year's goal is to repeat as Super Bowl champions. To repeat as Super Bowl champions, you need a healthy Saquon Barkley all year long. And you do that by decreasing his workload a little bit. Simply going to be really, really good running back in this league. Don't underestimate that kid. I saw flashes to back that up, Rick. But I don't know if I'm ready to trust him as the second best option in the running game. That's all I'm saying. Not sure about that yet. But maybe. I'm sorry. Looking at the free agent running backs, bring back Gainwell on a $1 million. Yeah, I mean, honestly, I think the problem with Gainwell is that some team will pay him more in a spot to get more opportunities. Like he's going to get he would get a 1 year, $1.5 million deal to stay in Philly. He might get a 1 year, $4 million deal somewhere else and get 50% more touches, which then in the offseason would get him even more in 2026 or maybe less. Who knows? So I think it's not necessarily we're going to get priced out on Gainwell. We might get a little priced out on him. It's the fact that Kenny Gainwell doesn't want to have 4 touches a game, 5 touches a game. He wants 12, 15, 18 touches a game. He wants that chance to touch the ball more. The figured out better routes, the wide receivers toward the end. How many OCs have they had? Took time to learn. Easier to rely on Barkley while they worked it. And they got another new offense coordinator again. Now, hopefully the rumors and the reports are accurate that Kevin Patullo is going to retain a majority of Kellen Moore's playbook and philosophies here and verbiage. Did I know Chris Collinsworth owns PFF? No. Is this true? I'm not going to fact check you on it. But maybe that explains a lot of the problems. Where did this come from? I'm not sure, but okay. Hot take. I think Jalen Hurts is the MVP, is in the MVP talk and wins it next year. I don't think it's a hot take because I said that like 2 shows ago right here on this very channel, the STT Sports Network. I said Jalen Hurts MVP is a fantastic bet for 2025. I forget what the number is, 15-1, 16-1, something like that. Fantastic bet. Because he's going to have to do more in the passing game, maybe the running game, to repeat. So not a hot take. Great take. Is Rick really a Philly sports fan because he is far too optimistic? There's go back and rewatch the Festivus episode from December 23rd, 2024. No, he's not always that positive. Bring back Gainwell simply for rocking a Philadelphia Union jersey at the parade, my guy. The Union season started. Did they win, Steven? I don't even know. I don't even know if they won their first game on Saturday. Big Al, I agree with you. Everyone is going to be playing the run, and Hurts' arm will be unleashed. Yeah, I don't think it's a crazy thought process. Shipley quietly being groomed to slide right into Eagles starting running back in a few years. His all-around game is top-notch. I hope so. I like the positivity on him. Collinsworth owns PFF. I have no clue about that. Interesting. He is a majority owner with his sons running the show. Kay Adams introduced him as majority owner of Pro Football Focus. I had no clue about that. Do they utilize the fullback more this year? Maybe they do that. Maybe. I would like to see Ben Van Sumeren brought back in that role. Or Blasingame retained and having a whole offseason to learn the offense. I would. I would bet the house on the Hurts to win the MVP next year. Lamar fatigue is real, and I don't think Allen will have as good as a year next year. Yeah. I mean, I literally will bet the house. So, yeah. Positive energy equals positive results. Positivity. The power of positivity. It's a new day. Yes, it is. Next year will be pass to open the run just to piss. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Check out Cam from Arizona State. He's Will Shipley on steroids. We'll have to look into that one. Conceive, believe, achieve. Look at the power of positivity today in the top of the hour here. Jared McCain's daily affirmation is, get it sexy. Yeah. Ben Van Sumeren is a solid fullback, played it well at Michigan before transferring to Michigan State to play linebacker. Yeah, no, we went into this throughout the season. I'm perfectly fine with them bringing back Ben Van Sumeren and trying to utilize him more as a fullback. The problem is, will Ben Van Sumeren want that? Because the question remains, not the question, the obvious remains that you make more money, not much more money, but you make more money as a linebacker in the NFL than a fullback. There are a lot more linebacker positions than fullback positions in the NFL as well. I mean, how many teams even carry a traditional fullback at this point? Can't be many. But Benerick Van Sumeren. Well, let's not go that far, okay? They won 4-2, big win. They are back. Good for the Union. Go Union. How about that? Maybe I'll make it out to a Union game this year. I haven't been to one in a few years. Always love, being that I'm not a huge soccer guy, going live to a Union game is much more fun than the alternative, which is watching on TV, which I can't even do anymore. He goes, oh, look at Tim. Moved over to the YouTube page now. Thank you very much for doing that. I appreciate that. Tim, help that YouTube algorithm grow. The Eagles have a great young team that will get better next season. Slay discount return. Rodgers playing more. Draft on the D-line. Get another tight end. And third string. A lot to digest. One, I don't think most people realize how young the Eagles team really actually is. So great point there. Slay discount return. I would bring him back in a heartbeat on a discount return or renegotiation return. But do they bring back Slay and Rodgers? Because Rodgers is a restricted free agent. That is where I think it's either Slay or Rodgers, but that's me. And draft the defensive line. Absolutely. Get another tight end. Absolutely. I like your plan. Your, in theory, plan there for sure. Going to be absolute beast at running back in this league. First round running back. Yeah. Wow. Dupe. Yeah, that's right. Watching soccer is like, stop. Oh, man. Won't go first round. Here's the thing. Do teams take running backs in the first round now? The value of a running back's increasing this year. Not just because Saquon and Derrick Henry got paid and had great seasons, but you also saw the Lions have a great season by drafting Jamar Gibbs in the first round. When everybody laughed at the Lions for taking Gibbs, where they did, whatever, it was like 15th or 17th in the first round. Teams' philosophies and values of running backs are changing. Slay is gone as he should be. I'm torn on it. On one side, he played at an all-pro level this year. People don't realize it. On the other side, it's better to get rid of a guy 1 year early than 1 year too late. And will Slay's production dip in 2026, 2025? I don't know. You can't lose Slay and Rodgers. You got to keep at least one. I don't see Slay taking a haircut considering it will be his last contract. it's not necessarily a pay cut versus a restructure. Running back value on a slight rise. Yeah. See, that's the thing. You might see a couple running backs go in the first round even. Slay only wants one more year. He said it 1 year, another shot. He just wants one shot to lay it on the line. We'll see. We'll see. Save $5 million by letting Slay go. You could save $3 million by renegotiating him, something like that. I'm a season ticket holder and always have some extra tickets to let me know. Me and you, let's go to a Union game. Let's do that. Let's plan that, Steve. Hell, maybe we'll do a trending in the AM from the Union Park parking lot there. Maybe. Gentie's the only first round running back. I don't know. I just started doing. I did my first mock draft this morning, and I made a big trade to trade up into the top 15 to get Tyler Warren. Do you guys want to see my first mock draft? Rodgers will be a starting cornerback here next year. If you let Slay go, you got to at least consider that. Sure. And I don't know the value Rodgers would command on the open market, but he is a restricted, so we have the right there. They're picking like 10 running backs going in the first. They're projecting really 10. That's insane. Like, that's even more than I would have imagined. Howie masters the cap. Becton, Slay, and Bond return. Yeah. Look, I'm a big Tim. Yeah. I don't know if you've been listening and just not commenting lately. Since the offseason has begun, since the parade has ended, I've been pounding the table that Becton is a close 1B to Zach Bond's 1A in importance this offseason. I don't think people realize how important retaining Becton is. I kind of want to move on from Slay so the young dogs eat. It's just Rodgers, Shore, Ringo, Ricks. I just don't know. Musk is threatening to buy Casey Chiefs to fire Reed for making fun of him. No, did not hear that. Phil, don't show that draft. 4 picks for a tight end is insane. I know. I was just having fun. I was just having fun with it. I am not. I am openly adamant that I have no college knowledge. I don't know one guy from the other. I study guys like Anthony DeBona that write for you guys. You know, Dave. I read and study other people's work, Deebs, and that's how I draw my conclusions. I just did that for the Tyler Warren people. I wanted to see what it would take to get Tyler Warren here in Philadelphia, and I found a way to make it happen. But yes, trading 2 firsts and 2 thirds to move up was a lot. Sirianni, best head coach in Eagles history. Well, yeah, I don't know if anybody's questioning that. Until you go to a live soccer match, then it's like ripping that kind of and Jesus Christ, what the hell? Becton will be the first free agent re-signed by the Eagles. He'll be the first one. All right, I like that. Becton loves the team and his mental health here. He's staying. Bond could take a bag and not being. We've talked about that part on Bond big time. But I also won't hate him for doing that. Fred Solon. Look, I agree. That's why I do so few of them. I am not a draft expert. Never have been, never will be. My lack of college football enjoyment is well past me at this point. I don't think there's anything definite yet about the Philadelphia Eagles all season. Only formation you can include a fullback is the I formation with the running back under center or the quarterback under center. Everyone plays from the shotgun. Yeah, that's true. Maybe the Eagles do it more often. Bond or Burks needs to come back because we don't. Oh, absolutely. Bond is obviously the 1A, and Burks is like 14. You know, but if you can't keep Bond because Bond gets the bag, you better find a way to get Burks back here too. At least Burks knows the Fangio system. You don't trust anyone's opinion with as bad facial hair as Deebs. I thought you were going to say my bad facial hair. My facial hair is getting out of control. I need a beard trim. I need a haircut. I just don't got no time. And the running back's love has grown, but 10 in the first. Yeah, that's insane. I would take the under on that for sure. Phillies World Series champions. I love it. I love that you throw that in all the time. Accurate. Yes, absolutely. Hilariously accurate, but accurate. I would love to see Jalen under center. Yeah, absolutely. I mock draft to learn about college players. Just too many of them to learn about. Yes, absolutely. I ran 40 mock drafts already just to see the names that are popping up. I just only post like 1 out of every 40. Soccer can't hang with any other sport in this country. Yeah, that's true. Burke showed that he could be there with Dean when he recovers. Hopefully, Bond wants winning over tons of cash. But, Tim, would you hold it against him if he wants to get that one-time life-changing contract that sets his family up for ages, guys? We are over the 20 concurrent viewers right now for the first time that I've noticed today. So hit that like button, hit that subscribe. There should be a minimum of 21 likes on this video right now. So hit the like, hit the subscribe, hit the share button, guys. We can get Bond, Becton, and Jomo back. I'm hearing this is the draft. We can move picks because of weakness of it. I'd go get Garrett. Oh, Myles Garrett. No, I don't know about Myles Garrett. I don't know if I'm trading what it's going to take to get him. You see Jalen under center 3 to 4 times a game. Tush push starts from under center. Yeah. I would like to see him 3, 4 times under center at least, not in tush push, in I formation. Do you remember Mike Austin? He was a beast. You mean Mike Allstott? You talk about the Tampa Bay Bucks guy, I believe, right? Yeah, I remember him. Big white boy. Phil, would you do a live combine stream? Why would I? Like, I don't know anything about those guys. I mean, I guess I could. I mean, I don't have any time this weekend to do any more this week, but maybe another time. I could have gone to the combine and live streamed from the combine. I had an opportunity to get the credentials to go to the combine, but I got a lot going on right now, so I couldn't do it. But someone did reach out to me with a pair of credentials that I could have gone and used. I'm not saying it's hanging around with the other leagues. I'm simply saying going to a live is good time. Yeah, Allstott. Yeah. He was a Bucks guy, Bucks fullback right there. So yeah, gotcha. Me and Steven, we're going to do that, Steve. We're going to go to a Union game this year. We'll find a way to do some recordings from that Union game. I don't know if they've got Wi-Fi in the parking lot, but we'll do a Union pregame show right here on the STT Sports Network. Why not? My bad. That dang autocorrect. Always blaming autocorrect. Everybody, always, right? It's such a dream of mine to go to the combine. Look, if I had no pizza shop, I would be at the combine this week. I was reached out to a friend who had got credentials from one of his workers at his network, and that person had a bail on the idea, and they reached out and wanted to know if I wanted to do a joint venture, and just not enough time to A, plan it, but B, I got so much going on at the pizza shop and no employees, so I had 8 people apply last week on Indeed to come work for me. Not one of them showed up for their interview. 5 or 6 of them didn't even respond to my, thanks for applying, can you come in for an interview? So what's the point of even applying? You know, get drunk enough at any sport. It's a good time. Stop. Don't shit on soccer. I enjoy soccer. You know, Rick, I'll give you my backstory. Working on a cruise ship for 2 years almost, year and a half, 3 contracts. You don't get ESPN on a cruise ship, even when you're in the, in like the Caribbean. You get ESPN International. So you still get Sports Center, but you get a lot of soccer matches. And being a sports fan, needing to watch sports every day to survive, I watched and learned the game of soccer in my travels because why not? You got to watch something. So it's a better game than we give it credit for. Soccer isn't big in the U.S. because companies can't market during the games. There's no commercial breaks. That's a fair point, actually. That's actually a very fair point. You know what they got to do, Tim? They got to start doing what some other sports are doing, or wrestling does it all the time. With the picture, golf does it all the time, where they cut to commercial, but they leave the sport on the screen. They do the split screen. Golf does it big like that. Soccer doesn't work here because it's boring. I don't know if it's as boring as you think it is. Yeah, it's more interesting than basketball for sure at this point. So you were forced to watch that. I was forced to watch something competitive, and it was the only competitive thing on TV. Female soccer league with those tight. Probably. Guys, we're coming up to the final 5 minutes of the show today. Thank you all for tuning in. It's been a great show. Sorry about Dale Carlson not being able to hang in there today. We'll try to work that out. Maybe we'll work on a mock draft tomorrow. Maybe tomorrow's show will be the first mock draft of this offseason for us. A pre-combine, because the combine starts on Thursday. So maybe we'll do our pre-combine mock draft before the combine affects people's values. Maybe that's what we'll do for tomorrow's show. Should allow them to fight and check in soccer like in hockey, maybe. I actually don't like hockey fights anymore. It's too small for companies to do split screens. They don't see the value. Meanwhile, in a game, anyone can play as a kid. Look, it works in golf, the split screen, just so you know. And some big-time companies do advertise during it. TUSH pushes forever. Women's pro beach volleyball. I love pro beach volleyball, especially women's. I used to love playing beach volleyball myself as well. What did you do on the ship, Phil? I'll play the ukulele and sing. I DJ'd, hosted karaoke, taught line dancing, basically anything entertainment that was needed of me. But my specialties were karaoke and DJing, country line dancing. I was very good at the boot scoot boogie, or whatever the hell it was called. I did a little bit of everything entertainment-wise. They know me as DJ Philly Phil or DJ Phil from Philly. That's what I went by. Really creative, you know. Also do a thumbnail with loud capital letters saying, "This changes everything." Yeah. Nobody leaves their seats during a hockey fight. I mean, I do. I find hockey fights boring. I don't find there any necessity for there to be fighting in hockey. Soccer flops are worse than the NBA. I don't know. The NBA flops are becoming pretty ridiculous. Relaunch. Ever teach the electric slide? The electric slide, the electric stomp. Taught them all. The hot, the raga. These are all the names of some of the line dances I used to do. They were all. I could probably only remember a few of them at this point, and probably barely. I was working for Julie, basically. I was working my way up to being the cruise director, okay? That was my career. That was going to be my career. I started it as a little escape, got out of a bad relationship, burned out at my job, so went and did it for 1 6-month stretch. Turned out I was pretty good at it. I was going to make it a career, then I met my wife, and then ended that career really fast. Hockey fights definitely serve a purpose. They might serve a purpose. I just don't think there's any need for them. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Spot on. Hey, guys, tonight, 6 p.m., Fairway to Heaven, talking this week's Cognizant Classic. I'm cognizant of the fact that no one wants to talk golf, but we're going to be doing it. Steven Fuentes, myself, Jason Sullivan, and Rashad Wright, our guests this week, talking Cognizant Classic. If you want to get in the DFS golf game, I got a private contest down in the description. Click it, join it. It's $3 to enter. See if you can beat Steven, myself, Jason, in a fantasy golf contest. It's only $3 to enter. Top 3 spots pay. Check it out. Try it out. Watch the show tonight to get some information, and then try to build a fantasy golf lineup better than we do. Go for it. Can't hurt, right? They just dance around too much in them. Okay, I think we're going to do a mock draft tomorrow, live on this show. I'm going to take your opinions, you as the entire group, on who the Eagles should draft, and then we'll post it. Soccer didn't take over any sport all time on TV, maybe 7 a.m. Phil, did you get a lot of action on the I do not kiss and tell, Eric. We'll just leave it at that. We're not going to talk about my extracurricular activities because I could probably still be fired for what I wasn't allowed to do but did do. Boot scooting Philly. I like it. The boot scoot boogie. I don't even remember what it was. I just remember the name. I remember the hot still. Okay, I do remember that. And the raga, I remember some of the moves for that. Puppy Bowl got higher ratings than soccer. Stop. All right. The soccer hate is real from Rick. All you got to do, Steven, is counter his soccer hate with a little, the Phillies won't win a World Series. Exactly, mister. It's bigger. It's bigger than Vegas. What, Eric? Are you my boy in disguise? Because there's somebody from the cruise ship Corey that used to always call me that all the time while he was drinking his double Jack on the rocks. But anyway, we're going to wrap this up. Fairway to Heaven tonight, 6 p.m. right here. I'll be back with Trending in the AM, Mock Draft 1.0 tomorrow, 8 a.m. right here on the channel. But with that said, we're going to end the show right here. Thank you all very much. Like, share, subscribe. Go Birds! Bubbles up.
Pop, 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 julep. Pop, 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 julep. Pop, 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 julep.